Hello, my name is Heather Highland, and I'm currently a third-year architecture student. I began my academic career at UC Berkeley as an intended art practice major before transferring to CED for architecture. What drew me to a career in architecture over art is the ability architecture gives me to create very tangible and lasting change. This has only been solidified by the past few years of my education, where I've learned how architecture dictates and perpetuates our socio-political conditions. I still am and will forever be an artist, and part of my interest in architecture is definitely rooted in a creative pursuit to design beautiful and meaningful spaces. I'm drawn to the challenges that come with communicating through form while adapting to functional needs, and in general find architecture to be very creatively fulfilling. While I value these more personal drivers, the larger motivation for my career is my desire for better built environments that align with my core values and design beliefs. Through my education and other life experiences, I have been able to develop a set of values which I plan to maintain throughout my future career. Even though it's a pipe dream for every project I work on to perfectly align with my goals, there are some values which I refuse to abandon according to my own morals. I strive for all of my work to be equitable. I understand that this is a very broad word, but it encompasses a wide variety of values, many based in social justice and/or leftist ideology, which are far too extensive for me to succinctly detail here. Basically, my work should acknowledge and challenge historically persistent policies which contribute to systemic issues and shape our current conditions. It should never be exploitative or exclusionary. I also believe that my socially conscious design must come from an engagement with these values both in and out of the professional world through things like activism and community participation. Additionally, I'm aware of the increasing importance of sustainable building practices and believe all future projects should work to minimize impacts on the environment. Addressing environmental issues will also further social equity and economic development, creating a more sustainable future as a whole. In my career, I hope to work on projects which work to challenge institutionalized powers and disrupt our frankly concerning current social conditions. However, considering the nature of the architecture industry, I'm wary of the challenges that could bring to my future career and financial conditions. Like most other industries, architecture can be corrupt, and it often abuses not only the communities impacted by its projects, but also its workers. I'm inspired by the new architecture movement who worked in the 70s to unionize architects in opposition to an industry which failed to address socio-political obligations. Additionally, the ongoing fight against unethical industry practices gives me some hope for my future career. Architecture also favors wealth and privilege. Most obviously, the profession itself creates barriers by requiring extensive education, time, etc. On top of that, success in the job market is also dependent on professional experience, which becomes much easier to obtain for certain individuals. Even the architecture major itself seems to be pay to win, with resources like the Digital Fabrication Lab being locked behind an egregious $250 per semester paywall. I worry about finding a job at a firm, let alone one that fits with my core values. These barriers can be incredibly discouraging, and have often made me question my place in this field. I'm still unsure of it, and have no idea what I will actually end up doing in my future career. However, I know whatever it is will be based on my core values and passion for design. In addition to becoming a practicing architect, I am also interested in working as an educator and/or doing research related to the field. Through my education, I've been given the opportunity to learn from academics and develop my own opinions and values. However, I've also found it very restricting in terms of actually applying these concepts to my personal design practice, specifically in the studio. Our projects rarely address how our designs actually impact socio-political conditions, and we are often encouraged to take a purely functional and formal approach. Through this curriculum, I found it difficult to develop projects which feel personally and socially significant. However, studying architectural history these past 2 semesters has provided me with the resources to explore new aspects of design in my future academic and professional career. I am inspired by the works of a variety of architects, designers, and activists. David Adjaye's use of cultural references reveals to me the importance of representing local cultural and historical contexts in my designs. Cafe Olone by Teramoto reminds me of the importance of vibrant community spaces, especially those which create space for marginalized identities. And because of Catherine Bauer's influence, I hope to work on low-income housing projects. Although I can't be sure of my future, I'm dedicated to furthering my knowledge on the issues which are important to me, and making tangible changes to the built environment which positively support the communities they house. I'm concerned for the future of our world and believe that it is important that we all work in our own ways to make it better. I believe architecture will be my way of doing this.